Lynette here, Praise 106.5, and on days that I get an author coming in with their brand new book, it's just so exciting. I love the name of the book, so engaging, Your Way Back to Happy, and I have author Janelle Bruland in the studio. Hi, Janelle.
Hi, Lynette. Really happy to be here with you today.
Me too, and I love this book. I feel like there is going to be something for everyone in here. Why don't you give us a little synopsis about what this book is about? Your Way Back to Happy.
You bet. Well, it's your way back to happy, how to turn the pain of your past into a future of freedom, purpose, and peace. And what it's really about is identifying those things that have been challenges in your life from your past, maybe even something that's still going on in the present that you haven't really dealt with. And so it's learning what that is, identifying it, and really being able to break free from those things that are holding you back.
I'm sure that you have gone through some things in the past that brought you to writing this book.
Well, my first book, The Success Lie, I talked about the lies that we buy into as business leaders. And one of those lies was you can't put your past behind you, and which certainly isn't true. And so I talked about a number of lies in that book that keep us from really living the abundant life that we're called to live. And several years after writing that, it kept coming on me that I need to go deeper into this particular lie about that you actually can put your past in the past.
Janelle, can you give me one or two nuggets that would make someone want to grab this book and pick it up when it is launched on Tuesday?
Yes. Well, I would say that one of the main things is many of us don't realize what's holding us back. And you had asked about the inspiration for writing the book, and it really came from my own story in my life where I thought that I had really put some challenges of my own past behind me until one day I was on my way home from a trip, and I was in the middle of the Seattle-Tacoma airport, and I had this complete meltdown, unexpected, unlike me in the middle of the airport. And I didn't know what was going on. And when I started diving in deeper and trying to figure it out, I realized that it was some unresolved trauma from my past that finally felt safe enough to be able to come up. And it was like, you're going to deal with this now.
Wow.
And so the book is my journey of discovering for myself that, wow, I have this great life, but yet I have this unresolved trauma that I didn't even know was holding me back, that was keeping me from really living the life that I was meant to live. So it's my journey going through that. And then now I help other leaders and just anyone who has dealt with a challenge in their life that they really haven't put behind. And Lynette, when you do, you don't even recognize yourself because you become a person that is free. You break these chains that have held you back that you may not even realize are affecting your leadership, your decisions, how you parent. It really can be helpful tools.
Janelle, can you give us a few examples of trauma?
Yes, and that is a really good point to bring up because a lot of people still today will hear the word trauma, like, well, I haven't had any trauma because they think that is
it has to be a murder
something,
or
right,
yes,
really horrible. And really, you think of trauma, the definition is being in a situation where you feel completely helpless to do anything. And so we've all been through challenging situations like a divorce or loss of a loved one, or having an illness ourselves. There's different things that we go through that we feel really helpless. We can't get out of. And it can be a one-time trauma, or it can be something that builds and it becomes something chronic that continues to go on and on. And that's a different type. But they're all trauma. And it's all things that if you don't handle it in the right way, it will get built up and it will be repressed. And for those of us, especially those listening who are business leaders, that we tend to say, pain? What pain?
What pain?
Yes.
I can deal this. I'll just keep going.
Right, exactly. And we move on. And in my own situation, being a single mom for a number of years, going through a challenging situation, challenging divorce, my focus was on making sure my kids were okay, right? And you don't think about yourself.
Not at all.
And you think you're fine. You just have to take care of those kids. And I think for women especially, we're really good at taking care of everybody else, but not so good at taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And self-care is not a bad thing. I think we used to think, oh, you're just spoiling yourself or pampering yourself. And no, self-care can mean things as simple, and I'm learning this, you can tell, as getting enough rest,
Yes.
drinking enough water, eating the right foods,
Right.
enjoying movement and doing this, simple things. Those are parts of self-care that we tend to be too busy at some
That's true.
point.
And so important, Lynette, and I talk about this in the book, that first of all, giving tools and strategies for people to identify what's holding them back, how, if they have an unresolved trauma, what steps to take to really heal that in the right way. And then speaking to exactly what you're saying, what are those sustainable practices so that we're taking care of ourselves for the future? Because it's not if we're going to face challenges, it's when.
When.
So how can we build that resilience in order to face the next challenge that's going to come? And one of those ways is by taking better care of ourselves through foundational practices like sleep and nutrition and exercise. All of those things help build a stronger, healthier mind, body, and soul, so we're ready to face the challenges ahead.
Oh, I love that. Those were all things that we could, ignore in our 20s and 30s. And as we're aging, it's like, no, we need to start taking care.
Very important.
Brand new book from Janelle Bruland. It's called Your Way Back to Happy. It launches on Tuesday. I'm so excited for you, Janelle. And where can we find your book?
So you can go to Amazon and find it there.
Okay.
And we are looking forward to you picking it up, and feel free to connect with me. And I would love to share, because there's lots of tools and resources that go along with the book, a workbook and a journal, and things that can really help you put these tools into practice.
This is wonderful. Oh, love the title. And thank you so much, Janelle, for coming in today. Janelle Bruland, author of the new book called Your Way Back to Happy. Check it out. Find it on Amazon, Tuesday, June 17th.
Are you looking for a distinctly Christian education? A place where your child can be challenged with academic rigor through a biblical worldview? Consider King's Schools.
Hi, my name is Michaela, and I'm a proud student of King's School's graduating class of 2025. Being a King's Knight has made a significant impact on my faith and future. Next year, I will be studying at Northwest University in their honors program. Because of King's Schools, I grew so much in my faith and my relationship with God. If you're considering enrolling at King's Schools next year, my advice would be to go for it. The community and environment here were amazing for me, and I love it here. And you will too.
Sign up for a tour of King's Schools by June 30th, and if you enroll, mention Purposely and pay no application fee. Visit gokings.org for more. Building resilient disciples of Christ through Christian education for 75 years. gokings.org.